In 100%. Good morning, Ugandans. Good morning, lovers of Uganda. Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, please give me a clap, or am I just talking to myself? Hi, my people. My name is Stella Nyanzi. I am one of the people who have come. Thank you very much, PK. PK, I salute you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm going to be holding these spaces every morning at 7 o'clock Ugandan time. And this space is going to be held until one of you can come up and hold the space at 7 o'clock in Uganda. And then I will cede the microphone and I will allow you to run the space at 7 a.m. But as long as there's nobody in Uganda running a space for March to Parliament to stop corruption and insist that Anita must resign, then I, Stella Nyanzi, will run this space every morning. So there are a few rules of the game. When you join the space, please retweet. Retweet the space when you join so that other people can know about the discussion. Please follow each other so that we can grow our numbers, right? If there's somebody who is on the space and you're not following them, they're not following you, please follow each other. And lastly, please use our hashtags. The first hashtag is March to Parliament. The second hashtag is Stop Corruption. And the third hashtag is Anita Must Resign. You're welcome to develop your own hashtags as well. But for the purposes of this conversation, March to Parliament, Stop Corruption, and Anita Must Resign are our main hashtags. So I will be starting immediately because time is of essence and there's a mission at hand. Yesterday, when I was on a space, I did not have enough time to explain why Ugandans must march to Parliament to stop corruption. A number of people have been wondering, why are Ugandan people coming together? Who is organizing these spaces? Who is coordinating Ugandans? Who is behind this? Who is sponsoring this? People say it's a gay agenda. People are saying it's homosexuals. People are saying it's white people. Other people are saying it's Anita Among's enemies who are organizing the space. Some other people think it's our political leaders. So what I want to do initially is to explain who we are. Who are the people who are behind March to Parliament on 23rd July to stop corruption in Uganda and demand that Anita Among must resign? To be honest, we are a group of many generations who have seen the example of Kenya's Gen Z and have decided that we want to participate in liberating our country too. But learning from the Kenyan model, we insist that we do not have any leaders in our movement. We do not have any glorified big bosses in our movement. We do not have any big funders of our movement because these are things that have divided the cause of a free, independent, dignifying Uganda. And so we are very fearless. We have decided to demobilize the fear that has been raised in our country. We have decided that the first thing we must do as Ugandans is reclaim our power, reclaim our ability, reclaim our history, reclaim ourselves as people to stand up for our rights, to stand up and claim our power. We are also tribeless. Tribe has been used in Uganda to divide us. One of the things that Dictator Yoweri Museveni learned from colonial masters in Britain, from colonial masters in France, from colonial masters in Germany, from all the colonizers, is that divide and rule works. And so he divided us along tribal ethnic groups. Tribal divisions that come from long histories, colonial histories, have been used by Dictator Museveni's junta to divide us. And so we decide that we are tribeless. In our movement, it doesn't matter what tribe you are. We have got friends who are Banyankole, Bachiga, Banyoro, Batoro. And a number of us have been looking at the western part of Uganda and thinking they're the ones who stole from us simply because Dictator Yoweri Museveni is the biggest thief in Uganda. But we have found that there's so many disenfranchised people from Western Uganda, citizens of our country, and we refuse to hate the West. Northern Uganda has been separated by civil war for a long time from us. Baganda and Acholi have been suspicious of each other. Acholi and Banyankole have been suspicious of each other. Banyankole and Itesots have been suspicious of each other. And one of the things we insist on as a principle is we are tribeless in this movement. Following from Kenyan Gen Zs, we are learning that ethnic violence, ethnic histories, ethnic divisions, ethnic fragmentations have torn struggles of liberation in Africa. And we insist that we are a tribeless congregation. I come from Uganda. I love the King, the Kabaka of Uganda, who is in Namibia, and we understand his visa has been denied renewal by the government of Namibia. However, when I enter this space of March to Parliament, I put aside my Uganda and I become a Ugandan. I stand as a Ugandan. We are a tribeless people. We are not going to be divided along tribe. In fact, in addition to being fearless, in addition to being tribeless, we are also partyless. Partyless in the movement that is going to march to Parliament on 23rd July to stop corruption and insist that Anita Among must fall. We refuse to bring partisan organizing into our movement. I belong to the FDC. I have comrades from the NRM. I have comrades from the NUP. I have comrades from ANT. I have comrades from DP. I have comrades from CP. I have comrades from UPC. I have comrades from parties whose names don't even come to the table. But all of us have decided that we shall be partyless in this movement. We do not glorify parties in our movement. Yes, I belong to FDC. I love FDC, but we are standing together as partyless Ugandans to insist that we're marching to parliament as Ugandans. I will not come glorifying FDC, one Uganda, one people. I will not allow anybody to glorify NUP everywhere NUP. I will not allow anybody to glorify DP, Egumire, Atalewo, Egumire, Atakesho, Egumire. I will not allow anybody to glorify Awu Pacha, everywhere UPC, all of the time UPC, all of the people UPC. We are a partyless movement. And when I say I will not allow, that is the same spirit that all of us Ugandans sitting in this space must have. We are a partyless communion of die-hard Ugandans who are marching to parliament on 23rd July to stop corruption, and we insist that Anita Among must resign. So in addition to being fearless and tribeless and partyless, we are also leaderless. We don't have any leaders. We don't have any big men. We don't have any glorified bogeymen. We don't have any loyalists and revolutionaries who are going to sell out on us, because we have learned from the history of Africa that many times when we glorify our revolutionaries, eventually they come and eat us, they rape us, they sell us, and they take away our voices. Case in point is dictator Yoweri Museveni. Some of us loved him when he came and they say he liberated us with his guns in a coup d'etat, with so many people that we glorified as revolutionaries in 1986. However, look at where we are. Look at where we are, fellow Ugandans. And so we are refusing to have any big men, bosses, leaders, because we know that in addition to selling us out, our leaders have disappointed us. I have leaders. I have a mentor in the struggle. He taught us to be defiant against all odds. I have a leader that I saw in my Buffalo Clan brother. He taught us, Situka tutambule. I have a leader of my clan. I have a leader of my religion. I have a leader of my tribe. Uganda, we have the Kabaka. There's so many other kings in our country. However, when we come into the space that's organizing March to Parliament on 23rd July to stop corruption and insist that Anita must resign, we put aside all those leaders who have sold us out before. We refuse to have hierarchies of power in this movement. We shall not be dominated by any one man, woman, or genderless person. We are leaders. We are leading each other. We are the leaders we've been waiting for. Yes, I have my leader. You have your leader. Put your leaders aside and take up leadership. Comrades, take up leadership. Because if we glorify individual leaders in our movement that's marching to parliament to stop corruption and insist that Anita Among must die, if we glorify any individual, that individual will either be shot, or they will be arrested like I was arrested, or they will be corrupted. They will be bought out. They will be sold out. And so we're not going to glorify any leader. We don't come without histories of leadership. We have leaders. There are leaders struggling today. Leaders of all our political parties are fighting each other. All our political parties in Uganda are divided. And so we insist that when we come into this space as much to parliament on 23rd July to stop corruption and insist that Anita Among must fall, she must resign. We don't come to glorify anybody. We're not going to suck anybody's leadership authority. We are not going to suck your boots. We are not going to allow you to speak for us. We are a leaderless movement. The other thing that's important is that many times when we glorify these leaders, they take away our voices. And we, the people of Uganda, who are going to march to parliament to stop corruption and insist that Anita Among must resign, we are refusing the capture of our voices. We have got voices. Our voices have been taken away. I tell my comrades and I encourage all of you, we all have spokespersons. I have a spokesperson in my political party. I have a spokesperson in the feminist movement who says I cannot speak because I'm a radical feminist. I have a spokesperson at my clan level, and usually it's old men who don't allow women to speak. I have a spokesperson. I have Jesus. We have, even Jesus was a spokesperson of religious people. We have spokespeople. We have prophets. But in this movement that's marching to parliament on 23rd July to stop corruption and insist that Anita must resign, we don't have any spokespersons. We are claiming back our voices. Our voices are our own. We're going to speak for ourselves. We're going to speak our issues. My issues are important. Your issues are important. Neglected issues are important. We are reclaiming our voices. We don't have spokespersons. We are people who've been silenced speaking, and we utilize the internet. We utilize social media. We utilize Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Flickr, X, all spaces, webinars, Zoom, secret meetings, chat groups, WhatsApp, all the available technology is going to be put to use in our movement. Why? Because for long we have been told we cannot speak. We know that the UCC in Uganda is corruptible. The UCC in Uganda listens to dictator Yoweri Museveni. When we speak too loudly, or we speak too rudely, or we speak too loud, or we speak too much dissent and we criticize, UCC is shut down. We have seen UCC being shut down so many times. It is embarrassing that Uganda is on the record for being taken off the internet grid in this generation during this time. And so we are insisting, we are going to use the internet. They told us we cannot go to spaces. We cannot go to the streets. We cannot go to parliament. We cannot go anywhere because they've captured all our spaces. But we are saying we shall penetrate the internet. And so, comrades who are in diaspora, please speak for Uganda. Speak and call an end to corruption. Corruption that is cemented and entrenched by Anita Among. Anita must resign. Everybody who is on this space and is a comrade outside Uganda, please take the heart of Uganda's march to Parliament on 23rd July to stop corruption as a serious matter, because we know that our UCC, which is the Uganda Communications Council, can be ordered to shut us down. So everybody in diaspora, everybody in exile, everybody who has been told you don't matter because you're living outside the borders of Uganda, please speak on behalf of the march to Parliament to stop corruption, because we need citizens who are out there to speak for us, to take the message. We are going to come into these spaces and speak on our own behalf. We are a borderless movement. They will try to say to us we cannot organize. Humphrey, please mute yourself. Otherwise, we have some rules of etiquette. When you come to the space, you're very welcome. But when you join, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself, Humphrey. If you don't, I will mute you. I don't want to take your voice away from you, but we're going to be respectful. I was still telling us that we are borderless.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you very much, Humphrey. Maliamungu, when I open the space,
yes, thank you.
After setting out the
rules,
thank
you very much.
Maliamungu, please mute yourself. Yes, thank you very much. I have to just remind people we are a borderless movement. So please retweet. You want to speak, right? You want to speak on the space. First retweet it. Retweet. And when you retweet, please use our hashtags. If you don't retweet, I won't give you the microphone. Please retweet. Retweet the space, march to Parliament, and then I'll give you the microphone. I will give the microphone to everybody who is retweeting. If you don't retweet, why should I give the microphone? Please work for the movement to march to Parliament. The only way that Twitter works and wins is if we trend in Uganda. So please retweet the space. Retweet the space and then speak. Very simple rule. Everybody who retweets the space can speak. Very simple rule. Please retweet the space. Use the hashtag march to Parliament. Use the hashtag stop corruption. Use the hashtag Anita must resign. You're not going to speak if you don't retweet. That is the rule of the morning space. In the morning space, we retweet. We retweet and then we speak. If you're speaking before you retweet, I will close you up. I'm going to give us voice because this space has given us voice. Please retweet. When I say the retweets have gone up, I will allow the time to open. Otherwise, I will dominate. So you want to speak, please retweet the space. How do we retweet? If you don't know how to retweet, please look at those arrows at the bottom of the space. Yes, somebody has just retweeted. I can see who is retweeting. Love the space. The person that has just retweeted has opened the microphone spaces. Retweet the space. I would like 10 retweets. We're now at 5 retweets. Retweet the space and I'll open up the space so we can talk. Every morning when you come to my space at 7 o'clock, you want to start speaking? Give me 10 retweets. I don't have 10 retweets. As long as I don't have 10 retweets, I'll keep speaking. We have to take power back into our hands. You want to come onto the space without retweeting? Please retweet the space. I want 10 retweets, my people. 10 retweets saying we must march to Parliament to stop corruption. Before you write the hashtag, please write we must. Please write we must march to Parliament. Because if you just retweet the hashtag, Twitter will think you are spam and they will not count you. Algorithms are important in this war. Okay? Algorithms are important. I'm still at just 5 retweets. If we don't get 10 retweets, I'm not going to give you microphones. I'll mute you. Please retweet the space. When we have 10 retweets, I will open up the microphone. This is a space for all Ugandans so that we speak and understand why we must march to Parliament. Please retweet the space. I don't see the retweets. And because I don't see the retweets, I will keep speaking because I'm fearless. People have said that we are bought. We are not bought, my people. That we've been funded by the West. We've not been funded by the West. If I was funded by, yes, I see we now are at 7 retweets. When we get 10 retweets, I will open the microphones. But then people are saying we're funded. If I was funded, I would just buy. I would buy the retweets. I don't have money. So please retweet the movement. Retweet the movement. This movement is going to be retweeted. When we get 10 retweets with hashtag march to Parliament, then we shall begin to build our visibility. I will open the space. Boss lady, I see you. I salute you, my comrade from Zimbabwe. We are borderless. Just as we are priceless, we shall not be bought. We are going to negotiate our own terms. We have 8 retweets. If you want us to start speaking as equals, please retweet the space. I have 8 retweets. Before you retweet and we get up to 10, I am not opening the channel. Because if we don't know what we want, people will come into our spaces and buy us out and dominate us and tell us what to do. You want to speak in this place? Please retweet. We are at 8 retweets. I would like to get 10 retweets this morning before I open the space. We are borderless. I see comrades from Zimbabwe, comrades from Kenya, comrades from all over. I would want us to retweet and get all the way to the whole world retweeting about march to Parliament to stop corruption and tell Anita Among to resign immediately. Resign immediately. So please retweet the space. I see 8 retweets. Until we get 10 retweets, I am negotiating. You want to speak, you have got to retweet the space. Retweet the space. When we come into these spaces, we have to retweet each other's spaces. We are borderless. Many Ugandans who are in diaspora, who are living outside, have been told we don't have a contribution. We should keep quiet. That is how power is taken away from us as Ugandans. That is how power is taken away from friends of Uganda. That is how power is taken away from the power of diaspora, the power of the region, the power of the whole globe to stand in solidarity with us. And so in our movement, we are borderless. We're going to speak from everywhere everywhere, and Museveni will be confused. Is it the Americans? Is it the South Africans? Is it the colonizers? Is it the Japanese? I would like all comrades who are Kadamas working in the Middle East, doing hard labor, to be on this spaces, speaking for us in our own languages, in our English, in our Arabic, in our French, in our German. Those languages have been used to colonize us. Yes, we are at 11. Thank you very much for retweeting. I will keep the rule and stick by it, ending on that note that we are borderless. Come and speak into this space. We don't have one language. We want the language and the message to go in English. So if you're comfortable in English, address the people of Uganda and tell us why we must march to parliament to stop corruption. Speak to us in your mother tongue so that they will not say this is an elitist space. English is very good for organizing, but it only allows the elite and the entitled and the empowered to speak. We want our local people to come with us because we have vernaculars, speaking Shona, speaking Kiswahili, speak so that the world will know about hashtag march to parliament to stop corruption. Now that we are at 11 retweets, I'm going to invite Comrade Boss Salah to speak to us, and then I will invite Comrade Karonganga to speak to us, and then I will invite Comrade Masiko to speak to us. Each of us have, well, we can speak until we have a quorum. Boss Lady, you're welcome.
Beautiful. What a beautiful, beautiful space. Hey, Comrade Stella, I've followed you for some time now. And one thing I know about you, you're a strong woman. You're a very passionate woman. And you always stand for what you believe in. And I truly respect that. Now, and one thing that I want to appreciate every single Ugandan here, please, you guys are phenomenal. The fact that you can all come together and say, we want to march to parliament. We want to stop corruption. Anita must resign. That comes from a place where citizens have decided and have made a decision to themselves to say, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And I'm truly in support of such a wonderful movement. And the message which keeps on resonating with myself is the fact that politicians are not part of this. This is a citizenry-led initiative. And that's what's so powerful about it. Because usually when you have politicians coming in, obviously they've got their own sort of beliefs and their own interests. But when citizens say, we are the ones who are initiating this, we are the ones who are most affected by this, and you all come together, whether it's on social media or on the day of the protest, and especially the momentum that has been building up. This is not something that just started as we're going to march to parliament tomorrow. You set a date, and you all have been coming on social media, speaking about that date, raising more awareness, talking about the things that people should expect, speaking about the issues of people who are actually trying to act as if they are the propellants of such a movement, and actually saying, no, we don't know you. We are citizens who have come from all backgrounds and are saying that this is something that has got no name attached to it, but it's got citizens at the center. And I'm reminded of, the Bible verse, that scripture, where even God himself, when he noticed that they were building a tower, he said, if we do not confuse these people, if we do not get in there now, and deal with them, whatever these people put themselves to do, they will achieve. Why? Because they were of one mind, one heart, one spirit. And that is what I feel, that is how I see the way this movement is grabbing hold. And Africa has come to a point where enough is enough. Africans are rising up from various of our other sister African states, and they're saying enough is enough. It is the people who are doing this. We saw what happened in Kenya, and we still see what's happening there. And now it's moving to Uganda. And I am even praying that it's going to come to Zimbabwe. Let it be a fire that cannot be stopped, so that these leaders, these corrupt African leaders that are there, will know that our people, we can no longer do what we used to do in the olden days. Our people have become wiser. Our people have understood that the only people who can bring change in our countries is us ourselves. It's not the foreigners. It's not the UN. It's not the AU. It's not the SADC. But it is us, the citizens of our country. You, my brothers and sisters, you Ugandans, who are the change that is required in your own country. Now, I'm not going to act like it's a simple process. I know my comrade there, Stella, knows all too well what speaking out for what is right can do. What you call them, these what name can I give these sons of the devil who want to stop your voices from being heard? Because you are allowed by the Constitution to protest peacefully. What is the problem with that? What do they fear when they see citizens coming together and protesting? Is it because they want Anita to stay in power? What good would that do when citizens have already said we want Anita to resign? What good can they do? Is it because they want to continually be corrupt? Because the only time you see people, these forces coming in and stopping you and preventing you from protesting freely is because they want to keep eating from the feeding trough. And this is what we're saying, enough is enough. We want our institutions to work. We want the hospitals to look after its own people. We are tired of seeing these corrupt leaders globetrotting to foreign lands to seek medical attention. And yet in their own country, the hospitals are not working. The same hospital citizens are expected to use. How many brothers and sisters and family members have you lost because your healthcare system has dilapidated, has been ruined through this siphoning and this corrupt regime that continues to steal the money that is supposed to be used to build your services? What about the roads? In my country, they are pothole-infested roads. The only reason now they are fixing the roads is because there's a SADC summit around the corner. So you start to see them fixing road. Why? Why didn't they fix this road a long time? Are our people not important enough? Are they not important enough? How many have we lost through the road accidents because the roads are unfit for purpose, for driving safely, and we've lost loved ones and family members on those roads? They don't fix. Where is that money that should have fixed those roads? We can talk all we want. And one thing you have to understand, what Uganda is going through is the same thing in Zimbabwe, same thing in Kenya, same thing in any country where you see citizens rising up and saying enough is enough. Corruption has killed our countries, and it is not right for such people to not be arrested. It is not such right for such people to not return the money that they've stolen from you. It is not right. So it is your right to protest together in solidarity. It is your right to stand with one another. And all I would ask as I'm closing, my comrade Stella, is that when you go for protest, please, 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 be your brother and your sister's comrade. Don't let any one of your brothers and sisters get caught up by the police, because that's what they do. We've seen so many times when someone is arrested and people walk away. But I saw a recent protest where a citizen was being dragged by the security forces. And citizens said, no. They stopped what they were doing. They went there and they said, no, leave this brother. Why are you taking him? It is his right to protest. It is his right. Leave him alone. We are not harming you. We're not doing anything. Leave him alone. And guess what? On that video clip, they ended up leaving the brother. These security forces, they didn't arrest him. So let's be our sister and our brother's keeper, I beg of you citizens. Let us watch over each other. Let us make sure that each one of us also is safe, is protected. Don't travel alone. Go in groups. Make sure you've got these cameras. Both shoot it, live stream, so that the world can see what is happening. Do not allow this to go without it being publicized for the world to see. If they decide to behave anyhow, untoward, let the world see it. Trust me and other comrades who come in solidarity with you, who will make sure we speak up and we fight for you as well in solidarity on these social media platforms. We even go to our governments and our presidents and we ask them, why aren't you speaking and denouncing such things? It is high time we started to band together as Africans, my fellow brothers and sisters. I'll end there for now, my sister, but what a beautiful space to wake up to in the morning. This is the right way we should start the day. Always be thinking of one another and being selfless for once. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You see, my people, shall we give Boss Salah some claps, So if Yoweri Museveni thinks he's going to silence the people inside the country, Zimbabwe has just spoken and said they are standing in solidarity with us. We are African people. The march to parliament to stop corruption and insist that Anita must resign is an African march. We are marching as Africans. Boss Salah, ensure that if I am taken away, if a Ugandan is taken away, that people in Zimbabwe will rise up, mobilize Zimbabwe to stand with us. My sister, comrade, I have seen you in spaces speaking. I have seen you speaking loudly. I have seen you in spaces where I wasn't wanted. They looked at my profile and said, that one will not speak. But if anything happens to Ugandans, I would love Zimbabwe to stand up and rise up and say, this is our cause too. Because just as you described Zimbabwe, everything you said about the decrepit conditions in that beautiful, glorious country called Zimbabwe is a replica of what is happening in Uganda. The rot in Uganda, our beautiful motherland, sounds exactly like the rot in Zimbabwe. So in solidarity with the people of Uganda, we are saying we are Pan-African, and all Pan-Africanists must be retweeting this space. Boss lady, we are commissioning you to mobilize the Zimbabweans on our behalf, because we have a dictator in our country who will try to silence us. May Africans in Zimbabwe and all Pan-Africans rise up and take up the cause to march to parliament to stop corruption. We stood in solidarity with comrades in Kenya. We shall stand in solidarity with comrades in Uganda, because Africa belongs to all of us. We are African people, and we are going to refuse the colonial demarcations that were made in Berlin, the capital I'm sitting in today. Those colonial demarcations of Africa are not going to divide us. We refuse to be divided, just as we have refused to be divided on grounds of tribe or ethnicity in the march to parliament. Please, let us come together as Africans to redeem Africa for Africans and everybody who loves Africa. We are African people. So, Comrade Boss Salah, I thank you for the energy in the morning. My people, if you want to speak, please retweet the space. Retweet something that Comrade Boss Salah has said. Retweet the space and I'll open up the microphone. Retweet the space. You want to speak, you retweet the space. You want to speak, you retweet the space. You want to speak, you retweet the space. I don't see those retweets growing. If I don't see the retweets going, they will speak. I will speak. We must learn to negotiate the terms of how we enter the spaces. Comrade Ruto must go. I feel for you. I stand with you. We commiserate with the people of Kenya, because our comrades in Kenya, in spite of everything, all the hope, all the courage you have mobilized, we are seeing bullets. We are seeing men with rungos, those big wooden sticks made of trees that were grown in the soil of Africa. How can they reduce our African soil that bears our African trees, from which they cut big sticks to beat African people? What madness is this? If they have stolen our resources as African people, if they have plundered our continent, surely they should respect the trees from which they get those big sticks that hit us. But Ruto must go. We stand in solidarity with you. If I see any Ruto must go profiles in this space, I would like us to retweet the hashtag Ruto must go, and then I will open up the space. I would like a new hashtag running on this space. It says Ruto must go, Ruto must go, Ruto must go, Ruto must go, Ruto must go. When I see fresh retweets saying Ruto must go, I will call up the next speaker, because we have to learn to carry each other's burdens as Africans, as oppressed people. We cannot speak for ourselves alone if we don't speak for other marginalized Africans. Our comrades in Kenya are organizing. I haven't seen enough Ugandan support for the cause in Kenya. We are East Africans. Our individual passports were taken away from us. We carry East African passports, apart from rebels such as myself who refuse to carry the East African passport. I'm not going to have this colonial imposition brought upon me. Why do they want me to combine myself as an East African, yet those borders between Kenya and Uganda and Tanzania were created in Berlin by colonial masters? So I want to see a new hashtag that says, yes, Hashtag Ruto must go. Yes, hashtag Ruto must go. We must find connections between the struggle in Kenya today, between the struggle in Kenya with the struggle in Uganda. We must be able to mobilize hope from the struggle that has been led by hope of Gen Zs in Kenya. We must mobilize that hope and see ourselves in each other. I see a request, yes, but if you want to speak, please, hashtag Ruto must go. Yes, you write yes, exclamation mark, hashtag Ruto must go. If you just write Ruto must go as a hashtag and you don't put some words ahead of that hashtag, Twitter will read the hashtag post as spam and they will not build the algorithm. The way we win the Twitter war is when we have algorithm numbers. And trust you, my people, before Anita Among arises or falls, before Anita Among falls, that monster, before it falls, we need to trend. First in Uganda, then in East Africa, then in Africa, and then in the world. But in order to trend, we have to stand in solidarity with our comrades who are trending in other parts of the world. So I want to see Ruto must go hashtags. And then I will open up the space to the next speaker. Ruto must go. Ruto must go. Ruto must go. Ruto must go. Show Ruto the way. If Kenyans are intimidated, East Africans from Uganda are going to speak for the cause in Kenya. Ruto must go. Ruto must go, my people. You want to speak? Ariho Jawad, you want to speak? Speaker, you want to speak? I want to see your hashtag and your retweet that says Ruto must go. If we don't learn to put our own agenda on the agendas of other people, they will come and hijack our agenda. So let's be strategic. Let's be strategic, my people. Tweet, hashtag March to Parliament, and hashtag Ruto must go. Our struggles are connected. We must refuse to be divided. And so, people are coming and falling, coming and falling. Speaker, have you tweeted Ruto must go? And have you tweeted March to Parliament? So that I give you the mic? Show me an 100% speaker if you have retweeted. Mgubani, you're welcome. Your hand is up. Have you retweeted? Hey, okay. Speaker, please speak. Unmute yourself and speak.
Yes, I have retweeted. Yes, please.
Thank you.
I did retweet.
Go ahead, speaker. Please unmute yourself and address us if you want to speak, because your hand is up. Speaker, please speak.
I'm sorry, I don't have to remove my hand.
That's okay. So we're also going to learn how to do this thing. So you see the love heart that has a plus? Do you see it?
Yes.
So if you touch that raised hand, yes, the hand will come down. Thank you very much. You have the floor.
Thank you very much.
We're all learning. We're all learning. And when you say, yes, I don't know, those of us who know will carry you along, because the revolution is going to teach us. We have to teach ourselves and teach each other from the revolution. Welcome, speaker.
Thank you.
Ariho Jawad, have you retweeted? And do you want to speak? Do you know how to unmute yourself? Okay. Do you want to speak? Yes. Have you retweeted? Give me a love if you've a love heart if you've retweeted. Okay. Please unmute yourself and speak to us.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good people. Can I be heard, Doctor?
You're loud and clear.
Yes, thank you. I want to thank everyone who is in for this fight for democracy, for justice, for an end to corruption, the fight for an end to state capture. And like Doctor has been emphasizing, it shouldn't be just a fight for only Uganda, but a fight for all Africans. Because we are brothers, we are sisters. So when there's justice anywhere in East Africa, anywhere in any African country, then justice is everywhere and it is affecting all of us. But then also I want to applaud all Ugandans that have come out during this time and shown their cause, their determination, their resolve, and everything they have shown towards this cause of fighting and putting an end to corruption. This morning I've seen some tweets, some intimidation trying to come out from our oppressors who are saying that they are going to, that they have deployed so much, they are going to cane us, what, Boko Squad. But then we don't care. We are understanding that this is what is going to be coming towards us. And we have been always knowing. I mean, we are not surprised. We are not surprised at all, because we understand this is a repressive regime that we are dealing with it. But then they are also going to feel the taste of a new generation that is determined to its cause. We are determined to making sure that we realize the change we need. We are going to be democratic. We are going to see justice. We are going to see everything change. We are going to see the people of Uganda having their voices back to them. The people of Uganda must be respected. We are not going to let those people with impunity, people who don't want to be checked, who don't want to be talked about, to be leading us, to be stepping on our heads, to be enjoying themselves in Uganda, where we citizens, we the rightful owners, are even again suffering under their feet. We are not going to accept that. Yesterday I saw the Minister of, I think, State for ICT, the Honorable Dr. Chris Wademusi. He was, trying to intimidate demonstrators, saying that, no, this is not going to happen, to do what? He was pretending as if everything is okay. Yet this is the very right person. He's back in his constituency in 2023, last year. He fainted. He was on some function. He fainted, but then he couldn't be treated in his own district. Even when there was a referral hospital that is serving almost the number of so many districts around, he couldn't be taken there because the facilities were not okay, were effective enough to work on him, and they had to be airlifted. I mean, imagine he had to be airlifted to Kampala just for fainting. And my question, something that came to my mind was like, really, if that happened to an ordinary native or citizen or within that area of Kanun district, was he or she going to be able to afford that airlifting or what to Kampala to be treated? No, that person was going to die from there, as so many people are doing these days. People are dying in these dilapidated and these old unfunded hospitals of the government. I mean, because the people we are having are not caring at all, funding and also making sure that there are facilities in these hospitals. So that's why Ugandans, we are on our own. These people are just enjoying themselves. They are making sure that they are the only people who are safe, but also they should be sure and they should know that they are not safe in this sinking ship. All of us are going to be affected at any time. Currently, Ugandans, I want to upload the spirit you are showing, because understand this is a sign of what? Of success. I mean, the moment we, the ordinary citizens, the poor, the proletariats, the subalterns can regain this consciousness and understand, you see, things are not being done in the right way. This is missing. This and that kind of consciousness that we are regaining. It is like a sign of movement. A sign of movement. A sign of an idea that is unstoppable, regardless of what happens. Because once we have a people-led demonstration, a people-led movement, a people-led revolution, it is going to put an end to all this madness. We are going to chase these people, these cabals who are just stepping on us. I mean, look at the status in our country. We all understand the effects that corruption has put on us. Unemployment, poverty, and if you talk about poverty, just talking about absolute poverty, where Ugandans are just impoverished. They are suffering. They may have nothing to put on. They have no food, shelter. I mean, we are just surviving on the mass of the road. So really, all this should just carry us Ugandans without any fear. We must march to parliament. We must be resolute. And like I've been emphasizing, I've been speaking these days that the march to parliament is not going to be just a one-day event. It can't. It must be something that is going to happen forever, as long as our needs have not been met, as long as our voices have not been heard and respected. We are going to press on. We are going to start on 23rd until when our demands have been met. We are going to demand these corrupt fellows to resign. They can't rule us. They can't. They can't continue becoming our leaders. They can't continue deciding for the future of our nation. Yet, we all understand that they are instead deciding for the future of their families. They're not minding and caring at all about what about Ugandans. Look at their lifestyles. Look at the way they are just spending. Imagine an institution of parliament. How is it supposed to be having its social corporate responsibility? For what? For what? Is it a corporation? It is a parliament. These things, these budgets, instead they should be put back into what? Into working budgets that reflect health, education, road maintenance, or even like putting up more good class roads that can help all of us. But the moment you just give these small finances to a number of people, they are going to use them to their own personal use. They are going to see dream, but they are helping people, churches, mosques, using the same budgets. But that's not true. You must know that's not true. That's why you see they are living opulent lifestyles, because they are having access to our finances. But then they should know that this is going to end. This is coming to an end. We're going to fight for this. We are going to achieve what we are going out to achieve. It is time that we stop allowing this cabal. The cabal, we are not going to allow like Uganda to be driven, the decisions to be made on the outcome of the 1980s Bush War. No, that must end. Today, we are having the privileged who are most associated with these people, because they went out, they fought. Yes, they did. And then right now they want to be the ones privileged, accessing, like having all opportunities within their pockets and just having them to only a few clicks who are rated all close to them. We're not going to allow this. I've been fearing what is happening in Bangladesh recently, where students, accompanied by their teachers, are fighting to make sure that they put an end to a quota system that is giving out government jobs. Almost 30% of them, they are predetermined that they are going to these people who are these children, like that are the children of the families that fought during the liberation struggle in 1971. But the students have shown up on streets. They have said, no, this must stop. I mean, after 55 years, who are you imposing this madness on?
Are you not prepared to land? You're making good points, but prepare to land. We need to give the microphone to other people. And as you land, I will also invite you to use a local language to just tell us march to parliament to stop corruption. Please land.
Okay, please let me land quickly. So I've been like making this analogy of what is happening there. So like just trying to show that no, the events that happened in the past are not going to continue shaping the present and the future forever. They must come to an end. So Ugandans, we must do this. As I prepare to learn, let me also speak in my language. So I'm saying that Abanya-Uganda twine okwebereramu. Egi niyo shaha tugambire abantu abatwesebaho, abantu abanyankuzi, abashuma, abaturemireho nti neda twayanga nibatekwa kurekera okubona bonesa Abanya-Uganda. Oburo butulinjira emirimo tekiru nimumara kushoma taro mirimo. Sente za government zitukushashura mishoro nibazikozesa nko kushoma sente zabo. Ushanga umuntu wansi tayine byo kukozesa. amararo tigari mu mibazi amashomero tigari mu bashomesa abashomesa bariho facilities ziriho amashomero tizikumara nabindi bintu namundi ni murako kuzitasiza I mean nibajambo bataka sente kacha ko kuteleze ngo dobi kibiki kunkatine nchibakora chikuya so eberabe na bishatu ntwenda ku matching ntuza kutambura ku rugo mushonda zone za Uganda buri mahari ntukuza parliament ntuza kugamba Anita n'abashuma bagenzi bawe inga ebimukozere nibimara mugara chance ito timurato ebembere muri abashuma nihanga erinegene oguno mulembo musya omulembe gwa generations gwere interest twine biri bitu nk'abantu twine mission yetu ni twenda ngo tumeke ngushanga twabera umwihanga eri twena tukweyagararamo ihanga eri twena tuli abantu bakwingana taro kushanga ngogo na kirabyo bwabo kubogo na mandugu ebeti birimo nituza kuremeraho nituza kurana turabe titukaenda kumara abantu mirembe turi violent turi abantu mirembe twenda tu matching hatagize bitwashisha hatagize bitwaranga nabo turarwani konkanyi tuza kumekinga shwambu bahurira amaraka gate. Thank you so much and let me leave it at this.
Thank you very much. Ego, twayanga. Thank you very much, Ariho. I think that Ariho has just illustrated that we are tribalists. We are tribalists. They are Abanyankole who are going to march to parliament to stop corruption. And it doesn't matter. We are refusing to hate our Ankole, our Nyachitara speaking comrades who are with us because Uganda belongs to all of us. If they are corrupt Ugandans from Ankole who have been stealing and plundering our country, we are standing together in solidarity with every Munyankole in Uganda who is as oppressed as we are by the corruption of our country. We are refusing as Ugandans and friends of Uganda to be separated and divided and fragmented among ourselves as African people. We see you, Ankole people who are suffering. We see you, the Nyachitara speakers who are suffering under corruption. We refuse to hate you. We are Ugandans and we are rising up. And there's nothing like telling Anita Among in Iteso in Teso language to go. And so I'm looking forward to have an Iteso person speaking in Anita Among's language, Iteso, telling her in her own language that even the people from Teso are saying, no, otokwi totokai, no, otukwi totokai, no, otukwi totokai. Tell Chris Obore, we have said otukwi totokai in a language that Chris Obore and Anita Among understand. So my friends, please retweet the space. The rules of engagement are working. We see you, Muhozi. We see you, Nimurungi. We see you, Be Human. We see you, Magezi. We see you, Ninsima. Thanks and welcome to the space. We see you, Steve Kabie. We see you, Richard. We see you, JS Nawianda. We see you, Brayo. If you want to speak, please retweet the space. And when you retweet, please use the hashtag March to Parliament to stop corruption. March to Parliament to stop corruption. There are two hashtags. Hashtag March to Parliament. Hashtag stop corruption. And if you want a third one, use hashtag Anita must resign. Magezi Huza, have you retweeted the space?
Yes.
Do you want to speak? Have you retweeted the space? Nimrungi, you want to speak? Have you retweeted the space? Nensima, you want to speak? Have you retweeted the space? Hey, Magezi Huza, you're welcome to speak to us.
Okay.
Please unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah. Mugamba mutya. Bana ikisantiza ntine kumakia mukera kwe muri mutsipeka ekyope wasa mutampunga kwe tuli bana ikyakali neki kyatandika kitsaga naye bajja kukiwulira kati nina information nagitinekira nga kinta bamputi kinta omwedi wange nnyo era finally tadeko bamukute naye temulowooza nti bamukute lwakusa bamukute lwa kintu kino kuba abadde alina program ey'okuyingira ku kintu kino last baya yayi national ya booking ngagala tokazi kuwe alokatu ajja atiboming omundi bamukute naye bagala focus yaffe tugijeyo abantu abasinga media act tufazigenda kujja focus kino ziteke kuyengeri jali influential jali na following y'amaanyi naye tetupowa tetukiwa nnyo buddi tunamulabedda sina tuwe focus tusoke tuwe ku kino match parliament abantu bakimanyi bagezezaako kuteekawo diversions nyingi baleetera ennyonyi ezogala media kugifuna kugijja kukigenda maaso media ebe neyiwe focusing naye tetwevuga speed bw'oba osobola omuteekayo kyotekayo naye okulanga osigala ku mulamwa abasigadde bonna abana abakwatibwa tujja balaba oluvannyuma nange kenyini mwebana mufuba okulanga mundaba oluvannyuma tubeere kukimaanyiza masiko abasajja bano gyebakoze banoonye generation yaffe nze ffe abali wano na generation bagita so tulwane at least generation y'abaana betuzadde ye ate tugikolere buwe ebeere mu nsi eyeeyagaza kuba nze kyasinga okunuma nze jjajja wange ali Rwanda azaala taata wange yaddayo mu kyenda mwena yangamba yaddayo mu kyenda mwena ng'ensi Rwanda eri totally down naye Kagame ali baloni naye dictator ngono naye dictator at least ateekawo system abantu ne bakola jjajja wange yajja wano Uganda omwaka oguwedde n'alwala twamujjanjaba kumpi nga tuspendinze million 2 naye yatuuka n'atugamba no la spending a lot of money ate nze bwe nsirayo eri basobola n'okuntwala eweeru ne banzijjanjaba ne tukwata n'angamba get transport munzizeeyo nzizeeyo e Rwanda kuba nze nina kaadi y'abakadde bajja kumpa treatment yonna nina gyetuyinza free of charge atiwali kyenkoze nakyo twakola providing transport naddayo emwana mbabuulira wano nga sibalimba bamujjanjaba waliwo ekyali kyetooka nga bagala batunya specialist nga okuba enegaland nga zze kubajjanjaba abalwadde abekiki baali baagala balajjanjaba era ne babalongoosa ejja wange n'abafanyi free of charge tebamugjeeko nga bebamulabirira naye ekyo kirijja ddi wange Uganda mwemulowooza kirijja ddi so ekibadde njagala baga mubeere bavumu nze amulwedi era ndi omu ku bantu abagenda okumakinga oshiwa mumbale nze number 1 kwendi oba ntya naye nti nabagambye if anything happens to me kyosobola okunsasula kulembera ku kintu kyetuliko Anita Among kasita Anita Among alizaini nze oba kiki ekintuuseko oba totala omaze okunsasula basi kubanja bye kangende nkole mbeere bulungi.
Tweyanziza nnyo amagezi huza webale kwogera naffe era webale kuleeta update nti King Saha bamukutte. King Saha tumanyi nti muyimbi waffe mu struggle nga bwe nagambye tuyinza okuba tuva mu bibiina bya njawulo bwe tutula ku space ya march to parliament tutulanga bannayuganda era twegatta era twagala buli comrade amanye nti ne bwaba alowooza ali bulungi bajja kujja nno bamukwate kakati ngenda kusaba nti ffenna bamanyi olulimi Oluganda abampuliriza tuwulidde nti comrade waffe King Saha bamukutte bamuwambye ate nga King Saha ayimba ennyimba za revolution banaye ngenda basaba buli omu afune ekifaananyi kya King Saha. King Saha temumanyi bannange buli omu afune ekifaananyi kya King Saha awuliriza Oluganda era ategeera ngenda kuteekayo ekifaananyi ku timeline yange funa ekifaananyi kya King Saha tutandike ne hashtag egamba nti free King Saha ndaba yatandise dde okukola hashtag free King Saha bw'omala okukola hashtag free King Saha okumanya tuli bagezigezi ng'oteekako hashtag march to parliament hashtag stop corruption hashtag Anita must resign. One of the things that we have to learn as people is that when we see a trending hashtag, we go and we make it trend and we use that hashtag to make our cause trend. So I tweet for you as you tweet for me. King Saha is a comrade in the struggle. We have heard that he was arrested, abducted, taken away by the dictatorial regime that kidnaps Ugandans and eats them and disappears them and puts them in dirty, congested prisons where we die, where we disappear, where we rot. We have comrades who've been abducted, kidnapped, and put in those detention facilities for years, and we know that, my people. King Saha is a comrade. He may not be from my party. He may not be from my tribe. He may not be from my generation. But as the protest movement of hashtag march to parliament, to hashtag stop corruption, to hashtag Anita must resign, I'm going to stand in solidarity with that Ugandan because we need King Saha marching with us to parliament on 23rd July 2024. So please, my people, get King Saha's photo. After you get King Saha's photo, please put under it Uganda space free King Saha, and then under that you put hashtag march to parliament. Under that you put hashtag stop corruption. When I see some pictures of King Saha trending, I will open up the microphone to the next speaker. You want to speak? Please tweet hashtag free King Saha. Otherwise, if we don't see ourselves in the struggles of our comrades who have been taken away, comrades who hear us saying, come and march to parliament. But when they're in times of crisis, we cannot even tweet for them. We are just tweeting about our march to parliament. We are just tweeting about stopping corruption. What is more corrupt than seeing King Saha taken away and abducted, and the space which he would be a part of is silent? So my comrades in Uganda, whoever is on this space and you want to speak, please tweet Uganda, hashtag free King Saha. I'm doing the same right now. Hashtag free King Saha. Hashtag Uganda free King Saha. Those of you who have the hashtag button, please use it and I will copy you. I'm using a phone that I don't use every day. I don't know where the hashtag function is. And then under Uganda free King Saha, please write hashtag march to parliament, hashtag march to parliament, but also hashtag stop corruption. And we're going to stand in solidarity with our comrade. We shall show these people that we're not going to be intimidated. We are going to show them that we're not going to be intimidated. They can do whatever they want to do. They can say whatever they want to say, but they are not going to intimidate us. And so if you want to speak, please hashtag free King Saha, hashtag march to parliament, hashtag stop corruption, hashtag, the diversion will trend only on condition that we trend. That is how you teach your enemy to respect you. If hashtag free King Saha is trending and they think it is a diversion, the hashtag march to parliament to stop corruption will also trend. These are tactics of Twitter warfare. You find a trending hashtag and you put your own issues on it. You find a trending hashtag and you put your own hashtag on it. They trend as we trend. They trend as we trend. There's no leaving us behind. Be human. Have you tweeted hashtag march to parliament or hashtag stop corruption? Ninsima, have you tweeted hashtag march to parliament? Give me an indication. Give me a love heart and then I will give you the microphone. Otherwise, I will keep speaking. Because these hashtags are one of the ways we're going to win power. If they don't allow us on the streets in Kampala, in Masaka, in Bukede, in Arua. Surely they cannot control where we move on these streets, on the internet, on Facebook, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram. We are ahead, we are ahead, we are ahead, because we are led by the Gen Zs. And the Gen Zs know these things of .com. The Gen Zs are ahead of us. The Gen Zs are... Gen Zs. I love Gen Z. I'm Generation X. I am not a millennial. I give birth to Generation Zs, the Gen Zs. But our movement is generationless. Some political parties told people like myself, you're too old. Today we are saying, in the march to parliament to stop corruption, we are ageless. All ages are welcome. All ages are welcome. Because no, Rachel, we are generationless. They divided us along generations. That party is too old. The other party is historical. The other party came with the colonizers. The other party took Kabaka. So those generational dinosaurs belong in museums. We are the generation that's leading. Gen Z have taught us that they don't belong to any political party. Some of them are too young to vote. Some of them are too young to be registered in any party. Many of them are 18 and below. Gen Z are partyless. Gen Z are generationless. The young generation is taking back power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Do you hear the popping? The popping. The popping like a popcorn and like a bullet. We are going to pop bullets with our tongues and our mouths. Pop, 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 pop. The pop, 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 pop. Police may shoot us out, but the pop, 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 police will meet us. Pop, 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 popping, popping, popping on the internet. We shall tweet them out of power. We shall tweet them out of parliament. We shall tweet them out of our public funds. We shall tweet them, tweet them, tweet them. So be human. Have you tweeted? Please give me an indication, be human, if you've tweeted. No? All right. Please address us if you want to address us, be human. Be human.
Thank you, Stella.
Right.
How are you, Ugandans? How are you, friends of Uganda, who are feeling patriotic and joining the Ugandans to wake up to the realities that are oppressing us? These are choices we made years ago, electing people indirectly who rigged themselves in office in the claim of serving us, but yet ended up oppressing us. Every beginning has an end. I think this is the time to put an end. Ugandans must stay firm. We must eliminate fear. We must stand boldly. We must stay away from distractions, because this is how it works. If you don't stay focused, they will bring diversions. You will lose focus, but the best way is to even use those diversions to stay much focused. Use the hashtags and the diversion, just combine it with your hashtag. You want to move. We can do this. We've seen that social media activism works. Before we used to march on streets freely. You remember, Stella, how we used to go with coffins on the road. These days, it has been pushed down to almost impossible. So right now, our first weapon is to do social media activism. Your weapon is your phone and your data and your VPN. I love you, Ugandans. God bless our country. It's upon us to liberate our nation. Thank you, Stella.
Thank you very much, Be Human. Yes, I saw you tweeted or retweeted freaking Saha. And indeed, as you say, Uganda belongs to all of us. We used to go onto those streets. Our streets have been filled with terror, filled with fear. You know, this terrorizing government has unleashed massive, widespread fear on those streets. But those are our streets. Those roads in Kampala are our roads that were built with our money, my taxes. If you don't pay taxes because you're Gen Z, your parents and your grandparents pay taxes that construct those streets from which we are beaten. And so we are going to reclaim our streets by marching to parliament very gently, with humor, pole pole, no violence, no distractions, no destroying of property. We only have our phones, and we have water, and we have dignity, and we have love, and we have determination, and we are going to march to parliament on 23rd July to stop corruption and insist that Anita Among must resign. Kama anapenda, kama hataki, Anita Among must resign. Have we all tweeted about the freedom of King Saha? I cannot be free if King Saha is not free. Somebody's microphone is doing bad manners. When we come onto Twitter Spaces, we mute ourselves, especially if we're speakers. So if you're up on the podium as a speaker and your microphone is doing bad manners, there is decorum of respect on Twitter Spaces. Please mute yourself until you're given the microphone. Otherwise, because I'm Stella Nyanzi, I will drop you from my space. I'm the master of my space. When you come to the space, maybe you don't know how we behave on spaces. You're supposed to gently mute yourself, and when you're allowed to speak, you can speak. So in terms of interest in the conversation, I know that many people are really interested in the conversation about bamshafters. So before I allow other people to speak, the next person will speak after I've explained why this interest in bamshafting is really, really not about homosexual people, but it's about Ugandans reclaiming ourselves. You know, Dictator Yoweri Museveni got into this habit, which he has normalized, of naming any group of people, whatever he wants to name them. He calls the opposition swine. swine. If there are any Muslim comrades on the space, imagine the so-called father of the nation calling you swine, calling you haram. Imagine. Those of us who are not Muslims and are pork eaters, imagine the so-called father of the nation calling you the foods that you like, swine. And that guy is saying you're eatable. He's going to eat you. Opposition, I'm going to eat you. I'm going to roast you. I'm going to fry you because you're swine. That is the so-called father of the nation. So he calls the opposition swine. He calls us pigs. He calls us vermin. He calls us every manner. But we are human beings. And that guy has violated us. He's supposed to be sitting in that house on our behalf. He said to us he's not a servant leader. This man that people give votes to, but we know he also rigs our elections, had the audacity to say he's not a servant leader, he's working for himself. He's not serving the people of Uganda. You know, so he has named himself not a servant leader. He's named the opposition swine. And then you know what? He's named our Generation Z people, as well as Generation X. I am the age of Muhoozi Kainerugaba, one of the public enemy number ones in our country. Muhoozi Kainerugaba was born in 1974. I was born in 1974. We are Generation X. We are the children of the baby boomers. My father was born in 1944. He is a baby boomer. Dictator Yoweri Museveni claims that he was born in 1944. We asked our electoral commission to show us his papers that he submitted when he was applying to run for president. The electoral commission of Uganda is so emasculated. They refused to give us those papers. Yet the very same papers were given. The information that Comrade Kyagulanyi Ssentamu submitted to the electoral commission was spread by the same electoral commission all over the public space. So we don't know if in fact that Yoweri Museveni, the dictator, is a baby boomer. But the baby boomer generation that gave birth to me, Generation X, must hear from Generation Z-led organizing and millennials that we are sick and tired. But what Dictator Yoweri Museveni has done from his long time dinosaur times is to say to Generation Z people in Uganda that you're my bazukuru. He calls us his grandsons and his granddaughters. You're my bazukuru, right? He doesn't realize that we Generation X's are not his bazukuru. We are in the generation of Muhoozi. Muhoozi is his son. So me, I'm not a muzukuru. I redeem myself. I'm not a muzukuru. Millennials, are you sure that that dictator, that dinosaur dictator Yoweri Museveni, is your grandfather? Because if he's your grandfather, why do you call Janet Museveni Mama Janet? Mama Janet, Mama Janet. Is that woman your mother? When young girls in Uganda use soil on days that they menstruate, young girls in Uganda use soil to protect themselves from soiling their dresses and soiling their school uniforms when they go to school on days they menstruate. Menstruators of all genders know that menstruation is a biological gift of God, if there are gods anyway. But this man who cannot take care of those bazukuru who menstruate in his country, that man has named Generation Z in Uganda bazukuru. My people, it's high time we refused these names from these people. But you know, the dictator has another person called Marie Antoinette. And Marie Antoinette is very similar to the Marie Antoinette of the French Revolution who was married to King Louis XVI. We know who our King Louis XVI is in Uganda. We know who our Marie Antoinette is in Uganda. Some of you call her Mama Janet. I don't call her mother. I know who my mother is. My mothers are strong women in Uganda who stand for the children of Uganda. My mothers cannot be sellouts who cannot put their sons in order. My mothers are not corruptible. My mothers are not nepotistic. My mothers are not sectarian. My mothers cannot impose themselves on the Ministry of Education and do nothing for our schools where universal primary education and universal secondary education, because my mother cannot be a person who has demobilized and emasculated Makerere University and all the other universities where vice chancellors who are responsible for students at our universities and in our colleges can no longer speak out, can no longer organize. Janet Kataha Museveni, you're not my mother. You're not my mother. You can be Mama Janet to Muhoozi and to Natasha and to whoever else you gave birth to and to whoever else wants to lick your big fat boots. Janet Kataha Museveni, you are not my mother. You're not the mother of this nation. If you were the mother of the nation, you would come and march to parliament with us, Janet Kataha. Janet Kataha Museveni, I'm calling upon you. You want to be named the mother of Uganda, Mama Janet. If you want to be Mama Janet, negotiate with the military, negotiate with CMI, negotiate with police on our behalf. Let us march to parliament. But we're not asking you. Janet Kataha Museveni, we know that you're the most powerful woman in this country. But that power is not your power. It is our power. It is our power. You want us to call you mother. But you see Ugandan children being murdered on the streets of Uganda simply because they're taking our rights, our constitutional rights. Mama, you cannot be mama to any Ugandan when Ugandan children are dying on the streets simply because we protest. Ugandan people rise up and say, Mama Janet is not our mother. If she is our mother, she has got to negotiate with the military. She has got to negotiate with the police. She has to negotiate with CMI. She has to negotiate with SFC. She has to negotiate with all those paramilitary extrajudicial units that hold guns. Guns bought with our taxes, my people. Guns bought with our taxes are shooting us on the streets as a mother of the nation imposed upon us. Want us to call her Mama Janet. You're not our mother. If you want to be our mother, we must march to parliament under your protection, you woman, Janet Kataha. You're a monster. You're a monster who watches Ugandans dying simply because we are protesting. You're a monster. Ugandan children get disappeared from the streets. You woman, Janet Kataha. You're a monster. We are calling you monster. Monster. Marie Antoinette. Janet Kataha. You are going down. You're going down immediately after Anita Among goes down. If you don't want to go down, Janet Kataha, we have to march to Parliament. And the only person who can tell that Ministry of Defense and Veterinary Affairs, the only person in Uganda who can order the UPDF, the former NRA, that raped women in Luwero Triangle, that murdered Baganda in Luwero Triangle, that had a display of the skulls of Ugandan men and women. You're the only woman, Janet Kataha, who can order the military to behave, to respect human lives of Ugandans who are protesting. We're not protesting because we need to beg you. We are protesting. It is a constitutional right to assemble peacefully. We are peaceful. March to Parliament is a peaceful movement. Even when we are aggressive and crass as Stella Nyanzi, we are a peaceful movement. I want to call you Mama Janet. If you want to be called Mama Janet, come and organize your military. Organize your gun holders to come and stand for us. If there are any people here who know Mama Janet and call her Mama, we are going to disavow her. We are going to swear and undress her if she does not organize her military boys, the ones that call her Mama Janet. Tell your sons and your nephews and your daughters to make sure that the march to Parliament to stop corruption and to insist that Anita Among must resign. Make sure those boys put those guns under the service of the people of Uganda. We're not negotiating with you. These things of calling our young comrades who put their names on that paper. Why do we even have to put our names on papers? We are Ugandans, citizens of Uganda. We're going to march to Parliament. You're telling the spokesperson of the police, they will not march, they will not march, they will not march. We are going to march. Mama Janet Kataha, I don't have to negotiate with the IGP. I don't have to negotiate with Muhozi. I don't have to negotiate with Muhozi Kainerugaba. I don't have to negotiate with David Muhozi. I don't have to negotiate with the SFC. I will negotiate woman to woman. I'm a mother, I'm a Narongo. Then you want us to call you Mama Janet. If you want to be called Mama Janet, Janet Kataha 7, chunga the military. Chunga the military. Chunga the military. Janet Kataha Museveni, listen to the call of Ugandans. You call yourself a Christian. You will not be a Christian, evil person. Mongering fear. Fear comes from the devil. Ushindwe stani wewe. Ushindwe. Fire, fire, fire. Fire upon the devil that sits in Janet Kataha Museveni as she does nothing. When Ugandans are being shot on the streets, Janet Kataha Museveni, what did you say? Since the November murders of our people, since the bloodbaths in Uganda, how can you be a mother? When Ugandans are being murdered on the streets of Uganda, Janet Kataha Museveni, wake up, get out of your bed, begin making phone calls to the UPDF and the NRA and the Uganda police. Ugandans in Uganda can beg you. Me, I'm not begging you, I'm in Germany. Come and shoot me out of Germany if you want to. You imprisoned me because I told you you're not my mother. I told you you have a tiny brain, and I will say it again, Janet Kataha Museveni. Your brain is too tiny. Show us that your brain is not tiny. Show me to be a liar by negotiating with the men in uniform to listen to the people of Uganda. We are coming to march to Parliament to say stop corruption. Who is more corrupt than the Musevenis? Who is more corrupt than the Musevenis? When you come to my space, if you want us to respect those names you impose upon us, you're going to listen to us. No Ugandan is going to call Janet Kataha Museveni unless the people of Uganda march to Parliament on 23rd July to say stop corruption and to insist that Anita Among must resign. Me as a woman, I'm not negotiating with men. I am not negotiating with any misogynist. I am not negotiating with any patriarch. I am not negotiating with Museveni or Muhozi. I'm a woman. The mothers in Uganda who are tired of the murderers of our children are joining the Gen Zs in Kenya. The Gen Zs in Kenya and the Gen Zs in Uganda and the millennials and the Generation X's and even the baby boomers to say we are marching to Parliament to stop corruption. Janet Kataha Museveni, nze Stella Nyanzi, gemanya gange, toli mama wange, olina obwongo butini, nakugamba dda nti olina obwongo butini kikazi gwe. Oba oyagala nkussemu ekitiibwa ekitono, nkwetondere. Tandika okwogera n'abasajja bo obwo obulenzi bw'obukuyita maama, obukwate mundu, eziguliddwa ssente zaffe nga bannayuganda. Bagambe ffe tugenda nga tutambula n'okutambula tutandika obeegayirira. Okutambula ogenda ku Palamenti eyazimbibwa emisayi gy'abannayuganda. Obutula abantu be twaba obululu. Mbotujja tubeegayirira ogenda ogamba mwongo. Okulekulira akati Kataha nze mpuliriza ndi Naalongo ate ndi mukambwe oli mukambwe bakutenda nti gwasinga obukambwe e Uganda. Janet Kataha Museveni nkulagira ate sigenda nakwekola biki oba oyagala oba toyagala tugenda kumba bannayuganda tufudde ng'osirise ffe totuzaala tukuzaala totuzaala bw'oba oyagala tukuzaale bw'oba oyagala otuzaale bw'oba oyagala tukuyite Mama Janet Kataha Museveni keera ku makya teekamu engatto ogenda kufuna pressure kubanga tukoye okufa ku streets ze Uganda mu nsi yaffe kubanga obusajja bukuyita maama tosobola bukontrolinga maama tasobola kuchunga baana be. Muhozi n'akubaka kwenza n'amukubira emiggo ng'oli awo osirise wandibadde omu ku bantu abandi gambe Muhozi oswadde. Muhozi nga we yakubaka kwenza n'amuyuza omugongo Janet Kataha n'osirika. Kale ffe aba opposition tukyawe kikazi gwe tukyawe aba opposition tukyawe kubanga tetubaba bululu obaffe mubba bubbe naye Muhozi ne David Muhozi ne Muhozi Kainerugaba n'obusajja obuli mu SFC obukozesa emmundu eziguliddwa ssente zaffe ne butabana Uganda Janet Kataha Museveni gwe bayita maama ng'osirise oli maama kikikazi gwe aba march to Parliament tujja na mirembe naye okujja n'emirembe tekitegeeza nti tuli basiru. Simply because we are coming peacefully to march to Parliament does not mean we are foolish, does not mean we don't have voices, does not mean that we are not tired of the bloodshed in our country. Kill us Kill us, but don't kill us and think that we're going to be silent. We know who holds power in our country. Janet Kataha Museveni is a space yange kumacha. Ngenda kugambanga buli kumacha. Nti bannayuganda tumanyi nti olina obuyinza okugamba kisa babawo Museveni nti bannayuganda baleke babubbe bwetukumba mu mirembe tugenda ku palamenti Janet Kataha Museveni kikuddako ki beera maama ffe bamaama tugamba oyo nno omwana beyagala okukola siyagala omwana oyo mwana wange yannema naye nga bali mutabani wange kamulagire batugamba Janet Kataha Museveni nti oli mukazi mukambwe batugamba oli mukambwe lagira abasirikale olagire polisi olagire SFC olagire abatuwamba ne batukuba amasasi nti bannayuganda mubaleke otherwise ffe tuganye toli maama waffe kati oyo mumaze ngenda ku Naalongo Anita Among. Naalongo to Naalongo. My name is Stella Nyanzi. My first title is Mama. I have addressed the mother of the nation who is not my mother. If she wants Ugandans to call her Mama Janet, if she wants to be called the First Lady, if she wants to patronize us and to have a little respect as the patron of Uganda women's efforts to support orphans, the one that did so much amazing work. Why are you orphaning other children when in the 80s you offered care to children who'd been orphaned by the war? Mama Janet, you're not my mother. You're a person who colludes with the murderers of Ugandans simply because they're on the streets. But I've finished addressing Mama Janet, who is not my mother. I want to address Naalongo. My third title is Naalongo. I'm a mother to twins. We have a Naalongo who is another Marie Antoinette in our country. She calls herself number 2, number 3, number 4. Mchala Magogo. We call her Mama Mekako Bilanji. Me, I will call you Mekako Bilanji. Mekako Bilanji, Miss Caroline, Anita Among. Anita Among. Okay. You're a Naalongo. I'm a Naalongo. These women who have small vaginas that produce one child at a time cannot speak when Naalongos speak. Now Naalongo to Naalongo. Me, I'm Naalongo when Nene Ngazi. I'm Naalongo who has the big vagina that produces 2 children at a go. I'm addressing you, Anita Among. Bukukere Anita Among. You have a big vagina, I have a big vagina. Sometimes I hear rumors, and I've never glorified them, that actually your vagina did not give birth to those children, but you had a surrogate mother giving birth on your behalf. I don't care how you got your twins. All mothers are mothers. But if you're a Naalongo Anita Among, and I am a Naalongo, let us talk woman to woman. Big woman with a big panties to big woman with a big panties. Naalongo who is bleached versus Naalongo who is not bleached. Let us talk. You were once in FDC, I'm in FDC. In this space, we are partyless. But I can call you as a person who stood upon the foundations of the FDC at one time. In Parliament, you're the Speaker of Parliament. You're the Speaker of Parliament, Naalongo. You're the Speaker of Parliament. You were facilitated by the death of Jacob Olanya to enter Parliament, Anita Among. Don't forget that you're riding on the predicament of a dead honorable speaker. That's how you became Speaker of Parliament, Anita Among. Someone's death. And we hear he was poisoned. His father told us he was poisoned. In fact, when people were trying to lie about him, he came up with his ghost. Do you know what Olanya is going to do to you, Anita Among? Anita Among. Naalongo wenene. Atenge yiyo siwe yange ngezi. You are so shameless. You joined your master, King Louis of Uganda, by naming us names. He calls people swines and bazukuru. You think you can call Ugandans who are challenging corruption bamshafters? Anita Among. You refused to address the issue of corruption in Parliament because you said you don't want to bring issues tabled by people who shaft bums. If you are calling the white people who put sanctions on you bum shafters, are you calling all the members of Parliament in that house who are inviting you to address the issue of corruption as it was addressed and exposed by so many civilian Ugandans? Are you calling those members of Parliament bum shafters too? You MPs who think you're protected by Anita Among and you want to fight corruption. That is hypocrisy, that is duplicity, that is lying, that is deception, and we see through your lies. Museveni is the father of lies, just like his father, the devil, is the father of lies. The devil comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. We discern that spirit because we are spiritual within the march to Parliament on 23rd July to stop corruption, to insist that Anita Among must die. Die? Even if she dies from power. Anita Among must resign. Now, the people of Uganda who are calling out corruption, and you think that you're protected by Anita Among. She called everybody who fights against corruption a bam shafter. Bam! Those of you who don't understand what bam means, it means buttocks. It means matako. Shaft. A shaft is an arrow. An arrow. If you know those love hats that have an arrow in the middle, like a love dart that shoots, pa! That's a shaft. To shaft is to shoot into a thing. Okay? Anita Among has called people who are fighting corruption people who shoot into the bums. The word bum shafter is associated with homosexuality. So everybody who fights corruption, if you're a sheikh, an imam, a bishop, a reverend, a pastor, a priest, a priestess, a traditional healer, whether you're religious or not, and you fight corruption, Anita Among has called you a bum shafter. Anita Among has reduced the movement to fight against corruption, whether we are homosexual people or not, whether we have sex or not, to bum shafting. Anita Among has called all of us who are fighting corruption bum shafters. Ugandans, fellow Ugandans. I know that you hate homosexuality, many of you. But how can you hate a gift? How can you hate naturalness? How can you hate? But But okay, let us agree to disagree on the question of sexual orientation, because it's not the issue here. I'm bringing it up here because it was raised by Anita Among. Anita Among has called every civil society organization that fights against corruption a bumshafter. Anita Among has called every institution that fights against corruption a bumshafter. The IGG, the IGP, the police, anybody investigating corruption, as well as all judicial officers, all judges, all magistrates, all court clerics who fight against corruption. Anita Among has called you a bumshafter. So you may hate homosexuals as much as you want. You will mute yourself or I will put you down. You will mute yourself or I will put you down. You will mute yourself when you come into my space or I will put you down. Anita Among will not divert this space. When you come to this space, please learn good manners and mute yourself or I will put you down. This is my space. I have created it to talk about march to parliament, to stop corruption in an uncensored manner. Me, I'm uncensored. I went to prison because I am not censorable. No one will silence me. No one will mute me. I will be as vulgar and as direct and as specific as I want to be. Every morning, I will do this. Because you know what, you people of Uganda, Anita Among is a Nalongo. I am an African Nalongo from Buganda. In Buganda tugamba nti Nalongo tawemula mlekerawo kwemamaza baganda mmwe abagamba nti Nalongo muwemu ye Buganda teri mukolo gutandikanga Nalongo tazze kuyimba nnyimba z'abalongo abatamanyi nnyimba z'abalongo kamba yimbire mu ffe Abaganda bwe tuyimba nti kimana pa ekya Nalongo kimana pa ekya Nalongo lumunde ekya Nalongo kimana pa ekya Nalongo kimana pa ekya Nalongo kibwatukanga lumunde ekya Nalongo Anita Among kiyinza okuba tekibwatuka bannange ekyange kibwatuka wepwa era ne Kabaka ne Katikkiro n'abataka bonna e Buganda n'abakulu b'ebika ebiganda bamanyi nti teri mukolo Buganda gutandika bajjajja gwe bawadde emirembe Obuganda ne buladda nga nnyimba z'abalongo tetuziyimbye ate tuyimba ennyimba z'abalongo tetuyimba lumu Abaganda those of you are not Baganda you keep quiet and learn tuyimba 2 oba tuyimba 4 oba tuyimba 6 oba tuyimba 8 oba tuyimba 10 kati sobola ngaze Nalongo kuyimba lumu lwokka asikamba imbere yako okubiri ditwakedde ku makyala kuzina abalongo betwi twakedde ku makyala kuzina abalongo betwi akantu kanzina kanjwijwiya betwi akantu kanzina kanjwijwiya betwi Nalongo bamuyisa yakeyo betwi Nalongo bamuyisa yakeyo betwi e Buganda teri Muganda asobola okwemamaza mbu Nalongo yagamba Museveni nti mataka obutako n'olwekyo Nalongo talina mpisa. Let other Africans define for themselves what their culture is. In my culture as a Muganda, when the world is going astray and the twins in Buganda cannot be at peace, cannot thrive, so that Buganda thrives because we venerate the spirit Mukasa, the spirit of blessing, the spirit of abundance. And in Buganda, when you greet a mother of twins, you say, weza wa Mukasa, weza wa Mana, weza wa Mboro, weza wa Salomo ni Nalongo. In Buganda, tetuwemula ba Nalongo. We are given permission and license to say these words because we are the last beacons of hope in Buganda. When the king cannot speak, Nalongo will come and say these words before we sing the songs that open the functions of Baganda. You can talk to me about your culture, but don't talk to me about Baganda culture. Mbayimbidde kimana ekya Nalongo bwe kibwatuka bwe twa. Ne mbayimbira nti tugamba n'okugamba nti Nalongo weeyowe. You know? Ne tugamba nti mukokowe. Njagala nkunanike nnenge wekokowe. Nalongo bamutomberawa mukokowe. Njagala nkunanike nnenge mukokowe. Bannalongo e Buganda tetuwemula. Twogera bwogezi ng'ensi etulemye. In Buganda, Nalongo has permissions, and me, you people don't be vulgar. Me, I'll be vulgar on your behalf. And I'm being vulgar in this space because I'm addressing Nalongo Anita Among. If Anita Among is a Nalongo from Itesot, who is a Salongo Magugu from Busoga, me, I'm Nalongo from Buganda, and Nalongo to Nalongo, I'm addressing Anita Among. You cannot call the struggle against corruption a struggle of bumshafters. All those MPs in that parliament who are fighting against corruption, as they should, have been called bumshafters. Our homosexual brothers and sisters are not going to be slain at the altar by bad laws in our parliament, while Anita Among names people fighting against corruption, bumshafters. You made a law against homosexual people. Stop using homosexuality to demobilize the struggle against corruption. Anita Among, toli Nalongo, akako kafunda, faba Nalongo tubanangazi. Sam, I see your hand raised, but before you raise your hand, I want to explain to people why this gay agenda of bumshafting is important. Nobody is saying that those of us who are fighting corruption are bumshafters. Maybe some of us are. Maybe when America and England and France and the EU and United Arab Emirates call out corruption in our country, maybe there's some bumshafters. And maybe there's some in Uganda. But bumshafting, the bums were created by God. Shafting is a mechanical process of biology. Why is Anita Among demobilizing the fight against corruption by saying it's only homosexuals who are after her neck? Ugandans big mubere bagezi Ugandans mubere bagezi ze Nalongo nazze kubatangaza nga ata serumaruma seti atya ze mbyogera nga bwe biri mumanyi yange nene ngazi bebeze ku frontline temuwemula bannange march to parliament temuwemula naye nze nja kuwemula because in Buganda I am allowed by my culture. I have sung you the songs of my people that were established day one. Chimana pwa si bigambo byange. Chimana pwa bigambo byabajjajjaffe. Nti ekyanaalongo kibwatukanga lumonde kati ekyange nyizo kirekawo ne kitabwatuka. Mulekenga bwatukire Museveni namuyita amatako ne mutantegera ne mumpita omulaba. Kakati mukataha ne mugamba obwongo bwe butono nnyo businga n'akamano obutono ne mumpita omulaba. Kakati Anita Among nno mujjidde. Mana nnene ku mana nnene. Naye Anita Among abalowooza emmana ye nnene nnyo. Agenda tuyita babamushafta. Abavuzi b'empanka. Olw'okuba tulwanyisa enguzi gamujjidde. Ennene yange nze njirese ku struggle. Spaces endala zigenda kubanga za bantu balamu bateesa buntu bulamu. The space yange y'abalalu. Buli yagwe eddalu ng'akooya Uganda. The government of Uganda claimed I was mentally sick. They wanted Butabika to certify me as a mentally sick person. Now I'm going to show them what mental sickness means by showing them that some of our brains have been refined and shaped by the oppression we go through as Ugandans. Emmane yange nnene ngazi yampe kwa Katonda. Telling I Anita Among yali yeetaga surrogate mothers kuzaalira baana. Abange nabeezaalira. Kati yange nnene ngazi. Space yange kumacha. Sigenda kwerumaaluma. March to Parliament, tetuvuma, tetugenda kuvuma muntu yenna. Naye space ya Stella Nyanzi tugenda ovuma mwe mabaze. My morning space is a space where Ugandans are invited to come and say whatever you want. Mubakunamire, mubanyampire, mubafuire, mubasesemire, mubasambe n'ebigambo. Teri kuba muntu mpi ku space yange. Physically, we don't practice non-violence, but our words are going to bite and sting and fire and shoot at our oppressors. Because, my people, the words that come from my mouth, the words of my tongue, the bullets that come from my speech are not any, they're like there's no vulgarity compared to the bullets that come from the mouths of those guns that are issued by the police, by the military, by Museveni and Muhoozi Kainerugaba and David Muhoozi and all those military people. My words are my weapons. If you can't speak the words that I speak in the morning, you're welcome to come and listen, but don't silence us. Because every vulgar person, every person who has waged war using dirty words, unclean words if you want to, is going to sit in this space in the morning and address those evil women who think because they are polite and civilized and respectable, they can tell us how to address them. We say to you, we are hungry, and we are going to come and bite you. Hungry Ugandans on the front line, on my spaces, will come and bite you. We'll come and bite you. And we have decided to be peaceful. We have decided. Don't think we can't be violent. Don't think we can't be violent. But because we love our country, we have decided to be peaceful. Gen Z have taught us we can be peaceful and bring down an entire cabinet, bring down an attorney general, bring down the IGP, attorney general, cabinet ministers. Gen Zs in Kenya have taught us without throwing a stone, without, fighting. They can go to the streets. We can go to the streets, march for our freedom. The IGP came down. The attorney general came down. Cabinet secretaries came down simply because Gen Zs went to the streets. And so, as I land, Anita Among has named every person fighting against corruption a bamshafter. If you are disappointed that I named the space, why it's important for you to understand the gay agenda, it means you don't understand that as long as you're fighting corruption, Anita Among has called you a bamshafter. Anita Among has called everybody fighting against corruption a bamshafter. I want to say it the third time. Anita Among has called every person fighting corruption in Uganda a bamshafter. So anybody who is going to march to Parliament, anybody who is calling out corruption, anybody who is suing and arbitrating and judging and sentencing and convicting corrupt officers, Anita Among has called you a bamshafter. Every member of Parliament who has resisted the corruption in Parliament, Anita Among has called you a bamshafter. The anti-corruption movement in Uganda is being demobilized by homophobia. Instead of stopping your hatred for homosexuals and putting it aside for a while, and recognizing that Anita Among has called everybody fighting against corruption in Uganda a homosexual, you are in danger. Put aside your hatred of homosexuals. Put aside your hatred of homosexuals, my people. Put aside your hatred of homosexuals. Because as you're busy hating homosexuals, Anita Among is busy calling you a homosexual. And the law in Uganda says that repeat homosexuals, if you're a repeat offender of who has committed aggravated homosexuality, the death penalty is waiting for you. I want you to understand these issues, Ugandans. I want you to understand. When Anita Among said that she's not going to address the issues of corruption raised on social media and implicating and pinning members of parliament in that house, which we voted people to go and represent us, she said she's not going to address those issues because they're issues of bum shafting done by bum shafters. It means she is sentencing us to the death sentence because we plan to repeatedly issue stop corruption messages. We are going to do anti-corruption to aggravated levels. We're going to aggravate the struggle against corruption. And because we are aggravating, bum shafting, it means the death penalty is waiting for us. Why are Ugandans allowing themselves to close their minds and their heads and their struggle against corruption? Why are you allowing yourselves to focus on homosexuality? and not realize that the act of parliament against homosexual people, which condemns repeated offenders to the death penalty, is also condemning the anti-corruption movement to death penalty. Nalongo owenenenga zyakubuuza gwe munnayuganda alwanyisa enguzi nti obukyayi bw'olina ku basiyazi katugambire abasiyazi obo bakyawe abo bakyayira ddala ng'ate etteeka eryayisibwa palamenti ligamba nti buli akola ekikolwa eky'obusiyazi n'akikola emirundi mingi ajja kugenda ku kalabba bamutte. Lwaki tolaba nti Anita Among bw'ayita abalwanyisa enguzi abali b'ebisiyazi nti ayagala tufe? The struggle against corruption in Uganda has been equated to homosexuality. If you fight corruption in Uganda, Anita Among has called you a bamshafter. Anita Among's agenda against homosexuals is the death penalty. Anita Among and her parliament passed a law that says that any repeat offender who commits aggravated homosexuality will be murdered. So she's saying bamshafters are the people who are fighting against corruption. We are determined to fight corruption every day we wake up. Every day we are going to fight corruption. Anita Among is calling us who are fighting corruption homosexuals, bamshafters, Ugandans, my people. You can hate people because of their sexuality. It will never change. It will never change. You can hate people because of their skin color, the racist status. Our skin colors won't change. You can hate people because of their class. You're rich, for them they're poor. The poor hate the rich. Those classes can change. But there are things that cannot change. Anita Among is equating the Stop Corruption movement in Uganda to bamshafting. Now, everybody who is fighting against corruption, in the eyes of Anita Among, you are a bamshafter. If you fight against corruption every morning, she wants you dead. So open your eyes beyond your homophobia and your hatred of homosexuality. If you're fighting corruption, Anita Among has called you a bamshafter. Her agenda is to murder repeat offenders of homosexuality. Her agenda is to murder bamshafters. Her agenda is to equate the fight of corruption to bamshafting. Understand the gay agenda in Uganda. If they want to kill any movement of the people, they will call that movement a bamshafting movement. Demobilize, 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 demobilize homophobia. This is a morning wake-up call. Ugandans, you can hate us as much as you want to hate us. Some people hate Uganda, I'm a Muganda. Some people hate Protestants, I'm a Protestant. Some people hate Nalugos, I'm a Nalugo. Some people hate vulgar people, me I'm vulgar. Some people hate privileged people because I speak Zungu. Some people hate, you can hate whoever you want to hate. But the gay agenda in Uganda today is that Anita Among and the House of Parliament, who hate homosexuals, are saying that if you're fighting corruption, their gay agenda is that you're a homosexual. And if you're a homosexual, they want you to die. Let us demobilize the fear of homosexuals. Ugandans are inviting you. You can insult me. You can name me names. I have told everybody me, I love one man. I fuck one man and he fucks me. One man. I'm heterosexual. I love missionary style position. I don't like those other things. I might try, but no. I'm a bored old Ugandan who enjoys talking about sex and doesn't have so much of it because I'm separated from my lover. Okay, that point is cleared. I'm demobilizing people who are calling me a lesbian, a homosexual, and I don't care. Maybe, like I said before, I'll go and kiss Anita Among. I'll go to Parliament and kiss Anita Among, kiss her everywhere, kiss her tongue, kiss her bleached skin, kiss her vagina that gave birth to twins, and then she'll leave Parliament because she's so disgusted of Parliament. I will recruit her into homosexuality, and then she will go to jail. And when she's in jail, I will say she's a repeat offender, and then she can also have the death penalty on her head. So let us demobilize homophobia, demobilize the hatred of homosexuals, because that hatred is being used against the movement against corruption, because Anita Among has called every person fighting against corruption a bamshafter. Tomorrow, after we have redeemed Uganda, we can go back to that parliament and have people discussing our constitution, discussing every law that has been made under dictator Museveni. I would like a free Uganda where we're making laws based on law, right? Not based on the hatred and the agendas of other people. In this space, I have reminded us that we should refuse the names of people such as Dictator Museveni, who calls us Bazukuru, calls the opposition swine, calls, he names whoever he wants to name, whatever he wants to name, and you allowed to be demobilized because you're going, but even you who are Gen Z in Uganda don't allow to be demobilized by licking Museveni's old bums. Museveni has been done. Mama Janet is not my mother if she's not going to save the streets and allow those streets to be free of those guns. Those guns should come and protect us. Mama Janet Kataha is not my mother, and she should not be your mother. You should stop calling her mother if her small vagina is bigger than her small brain, and she cannot mobilize her brain and her vagina and her motherhood to call for the protection of Ugandans on the streets. Mama Janet, who is not my mother, has been silent too long as Ugandan children of Uganda, where she wants to be called First Lady. She's going to become Last Lady. After all, Museveni doesn't only fuck one woman. We know he fucks so many women. Mama Janet Kataha Museveni is going to be demobilized very badly if she does not call the guns that call her mama to order. We're not going to negotiate with the police. We're not going to negotiate with military. Mothers to mothers, you want to be called mama. Stop being silent when our children are being murdered on those streets. Bring your vagina to the cause. Bring your vagina to mother children. Why is your vagina silent when children are being murdered? That vagina does not serve us. Your motherhood does not serve us. Your sons are killing our brothers. Your sons are killing our husbands. Your sons are killing us uncles. Your sons are killing our fathers. Your sons are killing us with guns. Yet your vagina can become a big vagina like Nalongo Stella's vagina and tell those sons of yours to stop killing us. But it's not just your sons. Even your daughters are killing us. It is not just gunmen. It's also gun women in Uganda. Those guns are bought with our sweat and our taxes. Janet Kataha Museveni, bring your vagina to the mission. Bring your vagina to the mission. Janet Kataha Museveni, mobilize your vagina. Tell your vagina to tell all those people who call you mama as if they came from your vagina to calm down their guns. They should stop raping us and killing us. Their guns rape us. Their guns rape the life out of us. Their guns are raping Mother Uganda. Mother Uganda is telling Mama Janet, who is not my mother. Mother Uganda is telling you, Mama Janet, mobilize your vagina. And all the people that leak it by calling you Mama Janet, mobilize your vagina and bring it to the struggle to stop corruption. Your vagina is so powerful, Mama Janet, who is not my mother. Mobilize your vagina to speak to those men. Basikamili. Kataha, sitamila bakuita Mama Janet. Basikamili bakemana. Tulamete bala ya Mama Janet. Yatademo amani gemana. Bana tuweza amani gemana. Let's use pussy power. Let us redeem pussy power. We want to reclaim Janet's pussy. Feminists in this space, call out that feminists. Stop using your Christian morality to demobilize feminism. Feminism uses women power, pussy power, vagina power, clitoris power. Women arise. We have a whole first lady, the Speaker of Parliament, the Vice President, the Honorable Minister. Power. Bana pussy power to jetaga. Pussy power, our power. People power, our power. Pussy power, our power. People power, our power. Penis power, our power. People power, our power. Pussy power, people power, penis power. Kati nga ine mane nene, nembole nene, jilete mu struggle. Emmana zammwe, nembolo zammwe tizitugasa. Ngabana ba Uganda bafa, abava mu mana zammwe, nembolo zammwe. Muli awo mwesirwa zammwe mama za Mama Janet, mbojjajja wensi, mbobazukulu, mbonalongo na amongo, mulete mana nembolo, mulete mana naza, mulete mana zinzokusemana zonna, emmana zonna, okumana mana, akamana mana, emmana zonna ku frontline. Naye njagala olumana lwa Mama Janet, olwakadiwo olwo. Olwagala tuluyite mama, mama kiva mu mana. Mama Janet lete manayo. Emmana yo yemmana yokayoka abasirikale n'abajasi n'abakombozi n'abatuwamba. Emmana yo yokayoka mu Uganda yonna. Yesobola babuulira kakati Mama Janet gayula ku mana. Tukube mana nawe. Emmana ogiwabwe Museveni. Mama Janet kozesa emmana yo ogamba abasirikale. Gwe bogamba abasirikale bajja kulagira bonna bu IGP, bu RCC, bu DPC. Emmana ya Mama Janet yamanyi nnyo. Mama Janet emmana yo girete mu situlago. Tetugenda kuyita mama byabwerere nze tuli mama wange latonzalanga olwo lumana mana lugasaaki ng'abaana ba Uganda bafiira ku street ng'olyawo osirise. Mama Janet, pussy power is calling you to power. Mama Janet, pussy power is calling the feminist movement to talk to you. Mama Janet, the Christian movement of women feminists, you guys wake up. You Christian feminists in Uganda, bring your vaginas to the struggle. Emana zirimu Yesu atula mitima tatula mu mana. Jesus doesn't sit in the vagina. You bring your manners, your vaginas. You can take your spirits to church. You can be hallelujah, born again, women who are empowered. The women's movement in Uganda. Miriam Mutembe, uli mulokole mukama yebaza wa Uganda. Emana girete ku front line. Emana byonna eby'amaanyi. Mulowooza emana erokoka, emana terokoka. Emana terokoka. Buli mukazi yayita ow'amaanyi ng'ayagala Yesu. Mwe bakyala b'abapasita. Mukyala Kayanja emana girete ku front line. Mama Fina emana yonna nnungi kubanga ye ennyimba z'abalongeezi tegeera nti kimana pwa ekyanaalongo ekyanaalongo kibwatukanga lumude ekyanaalongo. Mama Fina mumaze hajati kyali awo bahajati mwenna emmana muzirete emmana tasaala tawaaza bahajati mulete emmana mwe ku front line barobadoba. Mama Babi kyalogula ye Babi kyalogula nyamyo mukyalo akamana akalungi akakwawowo bannanga katuzaalira abaana ba Solomoni kazaalira n'obumana obuto. Mama Babi kyalogula emmana girete ku front line. Mukyala Winnie byanyima bakyala bannange nze mbayite emmana buzirete zirwanira banna Uganda oba emmana ya Mama Janet Kataha eganya okukola ekintu kyonna okucunga abasirikale fe abakyala ffe tuzaala emmana zaffe ze zaabazaala mwenna mwabeerega. You came from our vaginas. I'm mobilizing all vaginas in Uganda. Big vagina, small pussy, sexy vagina, tight pussy. Bring your vaginas to the front line to stop corruption and tell Anita Among's vagina to resign. You think Anita Among is the only vagina? She's only Nalongo. Zendi Nalongo yange warukanga lumunde. Ngenda pawemula. I'm calling upon all vaginas that have been demobilized. Talk to your men. How can a man have sex to you? Sex with you, make love with you, enter you, come out, pour his water in. And it's not coming too much. You women of Uganda, bring your vaginas full of pussy power. Let us use our pussies, young women. Let us use our pussies, Generation B. Let us use our pussies, millennials. Let us use our pussies, Generation X. Even you old women, bring your old vaginas to the front line. Because please, I know, yes, we have used diplomatic language and it has failed. Bring your vaginas to the front line, march to parliament, stop corruption. Anita Among's vagina must fall. Anita Among's vagina can go and be sexual serviced by Magogo. But Anita Among's vagina does not belong to that parliament because she has called everybody fighting against corruption a bum shafter. So this is the language of my timeline. In the mornings, I allow you to speak. I allow you to speak. I allow you to speak. In the last 30 minutes, mbawe mula nemba sumulula, abamala, abaziwa amazibayiwa, abafuka omusulo mubakazi bafuka, mufuke omusulo gwabwe ku timeline yange. Bwe tuwete tugenda kumba, tugenda bawe mula. Nze nkowola abamuzibo naba NUP muveyo, mutuvumye. Aba FDC abavumi muveyo, aba anti abatavuma mulete manaza mwe ku frontline. Abasede singa bakwatako. Sicha bakwatako lero batata mwekolemu omulimu. Batata sagala bambula, nze nkedde nalonge mana yange najire tadda ku frontline. Nendete ya esiteri azala Museveni mana ye nagikozesa ne bansiba kati mana ku mana ya mama Janet Nzatanzala ejje ku frontline agamba abasirikale be bachunge mundu eze mundu fetu zigula amasasi fetu gagula mana ya mama Janet Museveni nji wadde omulimu emana ya Anita Among njigambye ekkane wansi we mana za Uganda zonna emana yetu wunyiridde nnyo yagibanya ekizigo ate tumanyi mana bogiteka mu ekizigo banange ewunya akati mana ya Anita Among tuwunyidde ekimala oli muvundu kikazibbe otubye nnyo okuyise babam shafta obutayiwa boyine eri abasiyasi obutaddeko fabarani corruption emana ya Anita Among ejja kukka Anita Among tujja emana yo botagichunga tugenda kukuba emana zaffe emana ya Anita Among jimaze emana za aba feminist namwenna all of you feminists but political party leaders ne bachala bamwe abakazi mchala wa gundi wa mugisha muntu yani mchala wa mugisha muntu ye Stella my name say no mana Stella buje rufuga za chegwe batagenda tulwanirira eya babi tabula ni mana ye bujite yabachala abali women's league NUP emana ya wini ya nyima njagala wa frontline emana ya ligo sikuteka abo mumwe buli ya Stella muntu njiseyo akate emana ya mchala wa no wa yompya emana ya mchala wa Robert Maos yanje mawo musajja eje ku frontline buli kamana akali ya kabatugamba ndi ba feminist njagala pussy power mugambe march to parliament otherwise your feminism does not serve us. Let my radical queer feminism speak for feminists today because your polite feminism, your respectable feminism is not serving the children of Uganda. Our children who come from our vaginas are getting murdered. Our children who come from our sex are getting murdered. And your respectable vaginas, with whether they have pubic hair or they don't have, whether you wash them or you don't have, whether you circumcise them or you don't circumcise them, whether you pull them or you didn't pull them, your vaginas are not serving or saving Ugandans. As mothers of Uganda, I'm calling you out with my dirty, big, fat vagina. My big, fat vagina is mobilizing all vaginas. Come to the front line. People who are polite and respectable, are organizing respectable spaces, calling people to come to parliament. But I bad black. Bad black. But sister lange bonna batunda akabozi. Bad black njagala mmano girete ku front line. Bad black. Bad black yitaba sex worker bonna baletwa obumalaba n'obukole sente ku front line. Mobilize pussy power. Mana chije sikuteko banayi muzijukize. Please tell me which vagina I've not mobilized. All the important women. Emana ya Miriam Matembe njagala ku front line. Emana ya Betty Namboze njagala ku front line. Emana ya Ingrid Tulinawe njagala ku front line. Emana ya Winnie Chiza njagala ku front line. Mutala chibwe sikuteko banayi. Mumbolira abachala mubayite your pussy power. Today is a day for pussy power. All the big fat vaginas, the sexy slender. Nakamana kashira gashumba kalibu. Njagala kamana kashira gashumba. Mutala wa muhozi yani. Emana zonna ziveyo banange zengenda bawe mulamu ba feminists. Every person in the feminist movement who is not serving the cause to march to parliament to stop corruption and redeem our country from Anita Among's dirty bleached vagina. All you vaginas who've been demobilized, you're just there for sex and giving birth to children. Why are you giving birth to children? Born out of the sex you enjoy, and those children get murdered on the streets and you're silent. You think your vaginas are only created for sex? Huh? Who bewitched you, women of Uganda? Who bewitched you? I went to jail because I used the name of Esiteri and her vagina. I was talking about Esiteri, my grandmother. Idiots thought I was talking about a dead mother to what's his name, Dictator Museveni. Yeah? And I went to jail, and you criticized me. Now me who is vulgar, with my big fat vagina, I have called out all vaginas in this country. Come to the struggle. You can be as polite as you want. Politeness is not going to take these people out of the dictatorship. Politeness won't take corruption out of the country. Diplomacy won't take corruption out. Let us demobilize respectability. On my space, everybody is empowered to demobilize respectability. In the other spaces, you can be as polite, as respectable, as moral as you want. On my space, together, Awemudde, come and be as vulgar as you want. On my space. They took me to jail because I'm a vulgar woman. Gladys Kamasanyo sentenced me to 18 months in Luzira prison. I was with fellow vaginas. My vagina slept in Luzira women prison. I lost my baby through my vagina as prison wardresses looked on after they had tortured me. Prison services. Prison services, prison services. When children of Uganda are brought into your custody after they have been abducted and arrested and charged with trumped-up charges, you vaginas in prisons, what are you doing? What are you doing? You judges, what are you doing? Sorry guys, that's my daughter calling me. My daughter has a morning call with me. But what I'm saying, people of Uganda, as I open up the microphones and I yield the space, it's high time we put aside whatever thing has been used to demobilize us, and we took up the cause to redeem our country. Today, I came with my vagina. I also explained to you the gay agenda of Anita Among, who has said, "Be a bum shafters." Whether you hate homosexuals or you don't, whether you think homosexuals should go to hell or you don't, whether you think you can detect homosexuality or you don't, Anita Among has called everybody who is mobilizing against corruption in my country a bum shafter. So my suggestion is, me as Nalongo Wenningazi, I am refusing that wicked demon, Anita Among, and her vagina, to name me a bum shafter. But if she wants to name me a bum shafter, I'm mobilizing every bum shafter in Uganda. The new gay agenda in Uganda is that we are all bum shafters. If you're fighting corruption, whether you want it or not, you're a bum shafter. If you fight against corruption to aggravated levels, which is what we're going to do, we're going to aggravate the fight against corruption. Anita Among wants the death penalty on you. She wanted to murder homosexuals. She was proudly defending every parliamentarian who voted to murder homosexuals. Anita has mobilized that parliament to focus on homosexuals instead of focusing on corruption. She is using her own stupid, bleached mind to corrupt the corruption fight. Instead of hating homosexuals so much, Anita Among has called you a bum shafter, whether you accept the title or not. We are all homosexuals in her eyes. She wants us dead. If you're fighting against corruption, Anita Among wants you dead. Because she wants homosexuals dead. Because all corruption and whoever fights it is a bum shafter. I'm going to allow people who retweet the space, permission to speak. If you want to speak, please hashtag March to Parliament. Please hashtag stop corruption. Please hashtag Anita must resign. And then you can come to the microphone. Thank you very much. We shall be here tomorrow insulting, discussing, ridiculing, thinking together about how to demobilize the homophobia that is sitting in Anita Among's heart, that is sitting on the tongue of a woman who calls us bum shafters. Us, the bum shafters of Uganda, who are called bum shafters because we are fighting corruption, are going to sit in this space tomorrow morning. And we're going to do what we want with Anita Among. Today I brought Nalongo Owenningazi, my big fat vagina. You can hate me or you can, love me. I don't care. I don't have time for you. I don't even know you. Call me a lesbian. Hey, I will kiss Anita Among's vagina with my lips, pussy power. My lips of the lips onto her vagina. If she is joking with us, all bum shafters, arise. Let us use bum shafter power. And we go and bum shaft that parliament. They think it's impossible to bum shaft that parliament. The parliament is a pair of buttocks. The buttocks of parliament are pooping on us, shitting on us, farting on us. Parliament etunyampira. Etupamira. Etufunyira zidoti. Etutenako ebiddukano. Parliament matako bannange. Parliament Uganda matako butako. Kakati naffe bebayise abavuzi b'empanka. Bebayise abafumisi b'obupira. Bebayise tebayise kyonna. Your Baraka, I'm talking. Just wait Baraka a little minute. Fena bebayise. Ate nga beba tupamira. Tugenda tuzina amatako ga parliament. Bannayuganda bannange. Anita Among yatuyisa abasiyazi. Kasita abantu olwanyisa enguzi. Bw'oba olwanyisa ekiddukano kye batupamidde. Bw'oba olwanyisa zidoti ze batufuide okuva mu parliament. Parliament ya Uganda matako butako. Parliament ya Uganda matako nga matako ga Museveni. Museveni namita matako butako ne bansiba. Ne bagamba ndi muguwa ddalu. Kakati mbalaga ddalu. Anti bagamba ndi muguwa ddalu. Bakubisa ddalu ku ddalu. Webale kumpita muguwa ddalu Yoweri Museveni Kaguta. Kakati ngenda kugwira eddalu ku Twitter space eno. Buli ku mata. Naye buli alwanyisa enguzi. Bakuyisa muzinyi w'amatako. Bana abazinyi b'amatako musituke tugende. Naffe tuzine ettako lya parliament. Ate ndowooza tugenda kuddawo. Bannayuganda. Obuntu bulamu, obutayogera bigambo bubi, obutawemula, eddiini, empisa, okuba abantu ab'ekitiibwa. Ebyo byonna bikozeseddwa okutugyamu amaanyi gaffe ng'abantu. Naye bwe bakedde ku makya ne bawemula, ne bawa ebbeetu okuwemula abo abatupamira, abatuyise nti buli mulwanyi w'enguzi alwanyisa enguzi, batuyise basiyazi, batuyise bavuzi ba mpanka. Bwe mbamba Awemudde nkyuse ntya. Tugende tuwemukire parliament, tugizine amatako. Anita Among atuyise ffe abalwanyisa enguzi abazinyi b'amatako. Tugende tuzine amatako ga parliament. We are coming for you. March to Parliament is going to happen on 23rd July to stop corruption and ensure that Anita must resign. We are coming. We are fearless. We are tribeless. We are borderless. We are sexless. We have no leader. We are leaderless. We are borderless. And we don't fear you. We are coming for you. I have just illustrated how the power of the vagina is going to address issues around the decolonization and demobilization of Ugandans. We are not going to be colonized. We're not going to be demobilized. We're not going to fear you. You can say whatever you want to say. But because the parliament of Uganda is a pair of buttocks, we are going to bum shaft you. After all, the struggle against corruption in Uganda is fought by bum shafters. The bum shafters are coming after you. That is the new gay agenda in Uganda. There is no other gay agenda in Uganda. The new gay agenda in Uganda is the bum shafters are coming after you. Anita Among, you call us bum shafters. We are coming to shaft your bums. After they shaft your bums, I'm going to kiss you. Maybe I think I'll first give you foreplay. I will kiss you, kiss your vagina, kiss your lips. They will bum shaft you, and then you get out of parliament. The new gay agenda in Uganda is we're going to bum shaft those buttocks that they've totally polluted our country. How can we be respected when they're disrespecting us? How can we praise you when you're shitting on us? The parliament of Uganda is a pair of buttocks. Those of us who fight corruption in Uganda have been called bum shafters. Instead of mobilizing homophobia and mobilizing fear, we are refusing homophobia in Uganda, and the bum shafters are coming to shaft the buttocks of parliament. The buttocks of parliament are going to be bum shafted by the bum shafters of Uganda, who are called bum shafters because we fight corruption. March to parliament, 23rd July, to stop corruption and ensure that Anita Among must resign is on. If you want to speak, you have 3 minutes at most. 2 minutes, please begin to land. Request for the mic. The microphone is ours. This is your space. I will keep the space open until we've exhausted our ideas. On my space, we are uncensored. On my space, we are gagless. On my space, we say it as it is. If you want to insult them, please come and insult me. Use your fake accounts. All the fake accounts that have been working in Uganda, mobilize those fake accounts. Come and insult those people who are calling the struggle against corruption a bum shafters struggle. So if you want to speak, please request the mic and you can come and speak. Anybody wants to speak? The time is yours. Don't be shy. When you're speaking, if the sort of language I use is too hot for you, you don't have to use it. You don't have to use it. We are languageless. If English is not your strength, you don't have to speak English. Speak whatever you want to speak. Please request for the microphone and address us. Bum shafters, I've given you the new gay agenda in Uganda. There's a new gay agenda. We can't allow these homophobes, these people who serve the dictatorship, to define for us what the gay agenda is. In Uganda, we have a new gay agenda. All people who fight against corruption, whether you love homosexuals or you don't, Anita Among has told you. Yes, I can hear you, but I can't see you. Please go ahead and speak. Thank you very much.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please go ahead and speak. Please unmute yourself and speak.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
please speak to us.
Yeah, I assume that my brothers failed to get a network, so I can speak. Thank you, Dr. Stella Nyanzi. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, I thank Dr. Stella Nyanzi because maybe you know, it was homosexuality way back in 2015, 2016. Trying Dr. Stella Nyanzi, we are still in struggle. Tulwanyisa abantu bano, tulwanyisa obuli bw'enguzi, tulwanyisa corruption. Tegera. Okujjako mu myaka byonna tuwadde ne Dr. Stella Nyanzi. Tuesday prayers at FDC abamu muli bapya mu struggle. But read history. Okay? Ne batusibe Makindye. I mean, ne batusiba Makindye magistrates court. Okay? So we've been together all along. So no nsonga eyo, when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. And so let's push on. I've heard that some of our people have been called to report themselves oba kubaddeko sessionani this morning. Tibabayise ku police okwereportinga. But all those people have to know is that this struggle, the 23rd July demonstration, is leaderless, partyless, tribeless. Okay? So no nsonga eyo, weba bakuyise MPOT, weba bayisani, tebalowooza nti 23rd July enayimirira. Okay? In fact, those people would be wise. Ne basooka kuyita bali banguzi. Those ones we're protesting against. Okay? Instead of calling us. Oshegera abagezaako okuwakanya abali b'enguzi. So no nsonga eyo were bagumu, but let's get used. Bwe tujja ku space ngeno, before you even speak, you first share the space, put the hashtag March to Parliament so that it reaches as many Ugandans as possible. Okay? Don't just keep quiet. Secondly, Dr. Stella Nyanzi has mobilized. She has done her job. You also do yours. Mobilize Ugandans within your circles. Okay? Kubanga Uganda uli eyobufuzi babadde babira banga ebyekiralo ngabamu they don't care about it. Okay? But let me tell you, like I said yesterday, there's nothing like I don't care about politics. Okay? There is nothing like that. Because all issues are political issues in this country. Politics kati atuusa okutusalirawo by'onoosomeseza abaana bo, ky'onooyambala, ky'onoolya, w'oneebaka, gy'onootambulira. Okay? All that is politics. And when we talk about corruption, it has robbed us of our future. Okay? It has robbed us of today and tomorrow. Okay? Abaana baffe banaabira mu nsi ki? Okay? Nga bankuseere, nga sente zalina okuzimba eggwanga lino zabbibwa abantu kinoomu. Ate kyewuunyisa ne ze bawozze bweru w'eggwanga. Okay? Nazo bazirya, ffe ne tusasula. How in this world can a country pass a budget of 72 trillion? Okitegera 72 trillion naye nga more than half of it za kwewola. Okay? Ne twewola egindi ne tusasula gundi. Okay? When shall we stop that over-indebtedness? Okay? Kitegeeza kijja tuuka ekiseera nga tebakyalina kibasingayo wabula mwe bannayuganda nga mu musingo. Okay? Ffe musingo. Okay? Ogw'esente ezo. That's why Generation Z said no in Kenya. Okay? This must stop. Okay? And this is what we are saying, my friends. Okay?